Okay, Walter, go ahead.
Okay, so the call to order, we'll do the land acknowledgement. We'd like to begin by respectfully acknowledging that the town of Shelburne resides within the traditional territories and ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, including the Ojibwe, Potawatomi, Chippewa, and the people of the Three Fires Confederacy. These traditional territories upon which we live, work, play, and learn are steeped in rich Indigenous history and traditions. It is with this statement that we declare to honor and respect the past and present connection to Indigenous people with this land, its waterways, and its resources. We encourage residents to review the call to action information by visiting the following website for further research and education oneself. And with that, we'll move on to item 2, the disclosure of pecuniary interest. Members of the committee are requested to state any pecuniary interest in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. Is there any declarations? I don't see any. Is Althea still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, no problem. Okay, we'll move on to item 3, the adoption of the agenda. The motion is, be it resolved that the agenda for the Economic Development Committee meeting of February the 16th, 2024 be adopted as presented in amendment. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that? Moved by Charlene, seconded by Amy. All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. Move on to the minutes. I have to have someone for the minutes that was present at that last meeting to move it and second it, and I'll read the motion. Be it resolved that the minutes of the Economic Development Committee meeting held on September 15, 2023 meeting be adopted as presented. Information is collected under the authority of the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act.
Sorry, Walter, that's just the disclosure on the agenda. It doesn't leave space.
I don't have to read that, thank God.
You don't have to read that part.
Okay, so with that, can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Amy. I'll second it. I think I was present that day. All in favor? Carry.
Aye.
So we'll move on to general information, the 2024 EDC budget update. Who's going to do the budget update?
I'm going to, just give me 1 second. My dog is going crazy here. Well, he's calmed down now. So I think I just really wanted to let everybody know that the budget was approved. This is kind of old news. I think everybody probably knows this by now. There was one change though, with regards to the money that was going to be allocated for the Economic Development Committee. I believe that was reduced. Sorry, I'm just looking for it right now. I think it was initially the request was for $1,500, and I believe it was reduced to $800. Was $2,000 was the request, but I believe it was reduced to $800. I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me. The update.
I think I've got it for 1,000, Carol.
Is it 1,000? Perfect.
Yes.
So I know it was reduced, and I think that was what I wanted to let everybody know.
Okay. Any discussion on that? Any questions for Carol? No? Okay, so move on to item 2, OMAPRA, the First Impressions Program. Carol, again, I guess it's you.
Yeah, it is. So one of the things that we'd like to do this year, one of the other things that came out of the budget was that the action plan was not approved. So in lieu of doing an action plan, one of the options that the Economic Development Committee has is to do a First Impressions program, which is run by OMAPRA. And essentially what it is that a community that is similar to ours comes to Shelburne, they tour the town, and then they provide an overview of their first impressions of the town. And then and we in turn go to their community and we do the exact same thing. So I wanted to run that by everyone because it is something that I think we should do this year. I think it would be a good start if we do move forward with an action plan for 2025. Then it will be something that we can certainly use, and the data that we collect will help inform how we move forward with regards to any future development.
It's something we've done in the past by my.
Yeah,
We
you
went,
have done it in the past, but it was some
Oh.
time ago. It was probably like 15 years ago or so that you did it.
yeah, John was still the CEO at the time when
Mhm.
we went to Uxbridge at that point, and Uxbridge came here, if memory serves me correctly. So it was good to hear what someone from outside of the community thought of our community. Gave us a lot of ideas, so it's an excellent, but you have to have volunteers that are willing to go to their community to reciprocate.
Yeah, so those volunteers will be from the Economic Development Committee.
Yeah.
So, and we would work it in such a way that it would be, because we understand everybody's working during the day, so we would try to do it so that it would accommodate most people's schedule. OMAFRA is very flexible, and they will help us, they will match us with a community.
Thoughts, ideas? Anyone? Comments?
I think it's a good idea. Do you know how far away the community would be? Like, would it be a big travel to get there?
They try, my discussions with them, they say they try to find a community that's relatively close, but there's no way to determine where it's going to be, because it also will depend on other communities that are applying for the similar program.
Right.
So, all I can say is it will be in Ontario, but I don't know where.
Won't be in Northern Ontario. They won't go that far.
They do try to keep you within a reasonable distance.
I think within an hour to an hour and a half distance away.
Yeah, but as they've been very clear, there are no promises, because it really depends on who else has applied for similar process.
And it's the fact that they try to match a similar sized community. They're not looking at matching us to Toronto, for example, because that's unfair. It has to be something very similar. So that's the difficulty, depending on, the similar sized communities that volunteer for the program.
It'll be interesting to find one. You guys are very unique in not only your positioning to a major urban center, but a small area with a growing population that will quickly max out based on the small area that you encompass. To find it, it'll be challenging. Any idea why the action plan did not come through?
The budget. It was just the financial pressures. So
Okay.
I am applying for funding through RED for the development of an action plan. So, and we'll be partnering with the Futures Development in Collingwood. So they're contributing a certain amount of money to that plan as well. So the hope is that we'll still be able to do the action plan. It will look different because OMAFRA is requiring us to have, we can't just put a plan together. We actually have to have actionable items. So what we've decided to do is to have a series of workshops, and during those workshops, we'll gather data so that we can create the action plan. We still have to hire a consulting firm who's going to collect all the data and pull it all together, and also help support some of the workshops. But the good thing is that OMAFRA will pay about 60% of the cost.
Perfect.
The town is under a very, very tight budget scenarios for the next few years.
Yeah, it's you're not alone, and it sucks, but
Yeah,
at least,
especially when the province isn't helping us at all.
yeah.
But I'm hopeful that we will get the funding.
I think it's a cool idea. I think we should go for it if we can.
Yeah.
At least apply. Worst that's going to happen is there's no one that matches with us.
I'm pretty confident we'll find some community that will match up somewhere close by. There's a lot around us. We just don't seem to realize it, that have similar. And the thing that we noted with Uxbridge the last time we went there is the vibrancy of their community in comparison to ours at that time, the downtown core, for example, and whatnot. So it's surprising what you note, even though, like you said, there's some differences between the communities, but there's a lot that is also similar, and you do come back with a lot of good ideas from what they've done as well. So to my mind, it's an excellent thing if we can get to it, if we can have it happen.
And if we do get the funding for the action plan, it will complement the data that goes into creating it. So I think, yeah, it's definitely, even if we don't get the funding, it will still be very beneficial.
Okay. So we'll move on to the EDC breakfast.
Sorry,
Um,
Walter.
Do we need to make a resolution with regards to,
Oh, I don't have a resolution in front of us, but we do need a resolution to do this?
I'm just asking, do we? I th-
It would be beneficial for the committee
Yeah.
to make a resolution, yes.
Okay, so
Just that the committee supports the application to the
Oh.
OMAFRA First Impressions Program.
be it resolved that the committee supports the First Impressions Program. That would be the resolution, moved by Chuck, seconded by someone want to second that?
Alethea, I think she had her hand up there.
Oh, Alethea, okay. All in favor? It's carried. Okay, 2024 EDC breakfast subcommittee update.
You guys are okay if I give this, or do you want, Chuck, do you want, okay. So, the EDC committee, we have a subcommittee and they have, started developing the economic development breakfast. So that is going to happen on May 2nd. I have reached out to, the panelists. I'm waiting for responses. So far, SBA, which is Steve Burnett, has confirmed his acceptance to be on the panelist list. Sorry, my animals are driving me crazy this morning. It must be the snow. I haven't heard back from the other attendants. Denise, so the panelist is basically made up of Steve Burnett, Denise Morrissey, our CAO, Steve Weaver, our planner, and the mayor. So I'm just waiting for responses from everyone. The Legion has confirmed that May 2nd is available, so we're good to go there. And they've given us a pretty decent rate, so it's the whole event, like the rental is under $400, which is fantastic. I've just begun reaching out to the caterers with regards to the RFP. I've given them approximately 3 weeks to come back with the quotes and some suggestions, and then hopefully for the next meeting, our EDC meeting, we'll be able to sort of review them and make a decision. Still looking for a speaker. I have contacted several organizations. I'm just waiting to hear back. It usually does take a little bit of time. In the event that we can't get a speaker, we do have a fallback, but again, that the decision has to be made whether or not we want to pay to have a speaker, which is in this case will be, we're estimating $1,500. It hasn't been confirmed yet, so it could be more. So I think that's where we're at right now with the breakfast. We have swag, so we don't have to worry about that. We have tons of stuff left over from previous breakfasts, so I think we're just gonna try to get rid of everything that we have so that we can clear our storage space. So we don't have to worry about anything like that. Other than that, I think it's all kind of moving forward, and hopefully by the next meeting, I'll have more concrete answers.
Who are we looking, have we reached out for speakers, or what type of speakers, I guess is more the question.
So they're all economists, and their focus is on small business strategies. And so it's sort of similar to what we had previous, Walter, at the other events. Aaron Woodrick is one of the economists who is, he's good. He's the one that he was willing to do our previous EDC breakfast, which is virtual. But he's obviously, he wants to charge because he's currently located in Ottawa. And I've reached out to BDC, and BDC is also hoping to help us find a BDC speaker.
Okay, excellent. Any other questions? Comments? No, we're good. Okay, thank you. Excellent work. Job fair.
Okay, so the job fair is ongoing. We are partnering with Georgian College, Upper Grand District School Board. And it's a few months off. Sorry, I just drew a blank as to what the date was for that, but
April 18th.
thank you.
April 18th, you said?
April 18th,
April 18th.
And where are we holding it?
CDRC.
CDRC.
Yeah. So it's going well. We have over 10 businesses registered. We typically get between 24. Last year was the most. We had like 34 businesses registered. We normally get around 24 businesses registered. So I think that we're probably on track for that. We have right now, I think we're almost halfway there. So that's pretty good. It's only been advertised for the last 3 weeks. So I think that it is so far it's been well received. And we're going to be trying something a little different this year. We have a contact at Upper Grand District School Board that works with special needs kids. I hope that's the right term and I'm not offending anybody. They are hoping to make contact with businesses and work with businesses who are looking for long-term employees. So part of my process that I'm doing right now is I'm reaching out to the businesses that are registered and asking them if they're interested. And then we're hoping to set up one-to-one meetings with the representatives.
Well, it's our business is a mixture. The businesses are going to be a mixture of industrial as well as commercial, correct, Carol?
It's everything, like KTH is signed up, Chapman's is signed up. We have landscape firms. It's the small businesses, large enterprises. It's literally, services. It's across the board.
Right across the board.
Yeah. It's a nice mix. We usually do have a fairly nice mix.
Yeah. The commercial is a special, where the special needs would be a nice fit as well as the other ones. Like if we can get a lot of our newer commercials, for example, to sign up.
Yeah, well, the other thing I will be doing is as I do my business interviews, I am letting businesses know that this service is available within the town. So
Any other questions or comments for Carl? No. Okay. Any new business? Well, Alice, I'll let you go.
I just have a hopefully quick question for the committee. We've had a couple of challenges trying to get quorum, and originally when we set the date for the third Friday of each month, we indicated that it would be until early 2024. So I just wanted to see if there was a desire from the committee to look at changing the date and time, or if the committee is happy with the date and time. So I'm not going to put anybody on the spot. I will send out an email, but if you could please respond to that, just so that we can make sure that the meeting times are appropriate for the majority of the committee, to ensure that we have quorum each time. So that's all I wanted to say on that. Thank you.
If it's an issue for people in the daytime, we can also look at a later time in the day for a meeting. I know we've gone from very early in the morning. We used to meet at one point in time at 7 o'clock in the morning, right through till 8. But we found that a lot of people had to leave to go to work and whatnot, so it was getting difficult. So, please respond to Carol if you have some issues with the time or the date. Sorry, to Alice. Alice needs to, and no one likes to show up for a meeting and find out that the meeting is canceled because there's no quorum. It's really difficult for people, especially if you've taken the time out already to attend the meeting and then find out there's no quorum. And I think it's hard for staff as well, for both Carol and Alice. Okay, that's it. I need a motion to adjourn then, because we have no other new business unless somebody else has. I have someone motion to adjourn. No one wants to go home. Amy? Seconder? Althea? All in favor for adjournment? Carried. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Have a good long weekend, everyone.
Yeah.
Happy